if you've ever bought an orange full suspension bike or you're thinking of buying one, this is where it all starts. You can see knives loading the sheet into the stamper there, ready to start, you know, work on a brand new bike. And you know, that machine cuts all the shapes into where they need to be. And then everything goes from flat pieces to these fully fold, you know, to gradually more and more folded, precision computer folded sections there. And each little facet that gets added, each little fold adds strength, and it enables Orange to get away with these super thin materials you just couldn't do with a hydrofoam tube. And each one, I don't know if you see the indents there where it's marked through, so every fold is exactly on point. So they know, again, just quality control all the way through is absolutely crucial. And because everything's produced in-house, it just means Orange can respond to all the latest trends. Not within months, just literally, you know, within week of getting the latest technology. They can build up something like, you know, the down tube for the new EPO, prototype it, test it, reconfigure it, and get it absolutely on point, not just wait for the next delivery ages away from the Far East. And then they go through over there, right down that hole into the welding. We'll see some of the welding now. The frames, here is Alan tacking up a stage 6, ready for the next process. And even, you know, the only part Orange buy in is the seat tube. Everything else is machined or welded or folded, you know, within miles of the main HQ. And each builder has their own jig and all their own parts, so that everything is totally traceable. And any alignment issues or stuff wears can be just tracked down and sorted straight away. Even the jigs themselves are all made here in Halifax. You know, it's totally in-house. You know, all the alignment and everything is done in-house. The full set of processes for each part of the equipment. Not just before it goes out to heat treatment, but the same goes through the same processes when it comes back as well. Yeah. By hand, by experts. And the difference this makes to quality control and the quality of the bike you're getting. And the fact that, you know, Orange have ludicrously low return rates because of that evolution, that development and that hands-on building at every single stage. It's all so controlled. Whatever one of 10 colours you fancy having your Orange painted, you know, it's going to happen here in Halifax, because that way the quality is totally guaranteed. So you're getting a great, you know, a really good quality, tough finish. A finish that truly does the frames justice, because these are really ultra high quality, tough frames. So why would you want the paint not to match? And like I've said, you know, the frame quality, the amount of level of detail and the difference between a machine-built frame and a hand-built frame is similar to a hand-built wheel. And, you know, when you pick an Orange, you're getting hand-built wheels as well, because that hand-built quality carries on right through frame, right through to the floor, because of, you know, the skill and expertise of guys like Vaughan here in-house in Halifax. And speaking to the guys here, you know, practically nothing goes out stock in terms of the Orange build kits that they offer. You know, loads of upgrades available, such as, you know, the Hope kit on this bike. You know, brakes, bottom bracket, or you can have custom shocks, seat collars. You know, you really are getting exactly the bike you want by ordering through this. And because it's such a small reactive company, that's what Orange can provide. When they say made in Halifax, they mean made in Halifax. From the frame up. I mean, the frames are made here, and then they're brought over to the assembly factory, and people like Dan, or the rest of the team, will make the bike up, depending on what you've chosen on the spec sheets and the custom options. So, here's Dan setting about R5 right now. Yeah. Cheers, fella. Come back later and see it done.
See you in a bit. I mean, look at those brake levers. Look at that stem. That's how long Orange have been making mountain bikes and developing them. And if you've got the original Tushingham bikes, where Orange started as a, you know, coming from a windsurfing background, Tushingham sails up in the Dales before moving to Halifax. And you've got a complete procession of all the different monocoque bikes. Well, not all of them, because there were countless reiterations and there's some prototype ones here. The 628 downhill bike, I can remember riding in like the late 90s with outrageously high bottom bracket height, so you could still carry on pedaling even though it had 8 inches of travel. Various, you know, big old swing arms here with built-in chain devices, the more refined 2007 bikes. Again, more prototype stuff over the years for the downhill bikes, then right down to the, you know, the missile. Absolutely classic, probably one of the first proper bomb-proof hardcore hardtails ever made. I mean, if you want mountain biking heritage, look at the walls in here. I mean, you've got all the team shots, experimental prototype bikes that never even got names being raced and ridden. You've got the Clockwork, the Sub 5, the Vitamin T with the linkage forks, the aluminium O's. I can remember getting one of them into the shop in about 1991. And they were the future, you know, oversized aluminium that looks so skinny now, and shaped power stay seat stays. And all the covers, all the legendary races, P.T. Minar, the Animal guys. So much just backstory here. And then it's such a rich current range as well. You know, on the suspension side, you've got the Alpine 6, the sort of modern descendant of the classic Patriot, which was the first, you know, single pivot, Halifax-made monocoque bike. The 5, the 4, the Stage 6, the 29er, the Stage 5, the slightly shorter travel 29. And you've got the tubular hardtail range, the Crush, the Clockwork 29, the P7, the classic steel evergreen bike, and the Clockwork 120, you know, the bike I've reviewed and video reviewed and absolutely raved about when I was a youth, and it's still a fantastic bike now. You've got the RX-9, you've got the Speedwork, and the 324, the latest incarnation of a really long-running, really successful range of downhill bikes. You know, you've got colour swatches for all the different ways you can have your Orange painted. And then this is one of the most exciting bikes you'll find anywhere in any range at the moment. A proper Alpine 6 based geometry, suspension pivot, handling, spec, but with a custom Shimano motor setup in there. I've not ridden it yet, but from what I've heard, it just sounds like it's going to be an absolute blast. I can think of so many Orange riders, you know, who've maybe put on a few more pounds than they were expecting, or they don't get as much riding time as they used to, who are just going to absolutely love the freedom and the number of runs and the range and the love of mountain biking this could give back to them. And again, this is what Orange do best, you know, take an existing proven design and then use their ability to fabricate and to prototype everything in-house to create something that's exactly in the moment. And also work with manufacturers. They've always been really, really proactive. They never just take things off shelves. They get this rap of being, oh, it's a swing arm bike and it's made from filing cabinets. It couldn't be further from the truth. They really are an incredibly progressive brand who've just fixed on a really good platform and taken it to the absolute limit and continue to do that, just pushing it on. And that's why they're so popular, and it's why they've been such an enduring brand.